Ah oui, bonjour. We're going to go ahead and get started this morning. I have a few things to go over with you, and hopefully I will say them all in the correct order. In your lesson today, you'll have another opportunity to translate the verse of the day. I've been enjoying seeing what y'all come up with there. Just a couple things I want to say to all of you in case you have any questions. First of all, I think I've communicated with a lot of you already about this, but you may have noticed I put some grades on RenWeb for some of your completed activities. And this past time, I gave you the opportunity to correct your mistakes. I've been trying to do that pretty well. The assignments that are going to be due for this lesson, I'm actually going to give you longer. I'm going to give you 48 hours. Okay, so today's lesson and or assignments and activities and exercises will all be due by Thursday at noon. And this time I am going to record your grade for a daily grade as is with your errors. So if you're worried, you can always reach out to me, check over some things we can communicate over OneNote. I know it sort of seems like I'm giving you the opportunity to get 100 easily, which is true. But I want you to try to keep the due date in mind this time and get it done before, because when that due date comes, if you still have errors, I'm going to record them like that. Also, I'm going to start taking off a little bit if you turn in assignments late. I kind of wanted to give you plenty of grace here because I know it's been an adjustment for everyone getting used to that. Of course, if you have individual issues like all of a sudden your Wi-Fi went down, I understand that's an extenuating circumstance, so I'll work with you on that. I'm also looking into ways to do quiz grades and or test grades if necessary. Probably going to be an essay for a test grade, but that all depends on, if we come back after spring break, when we come back after spring break, and all that good stuff. Okay. Aujourd'hui, je suis dans mon pyjama. Je porte un pyjama rouge, rose foncé, dark pink, et blanc à petits pois. Petits pois. Remember that? Polka dots. Okay, we'll get right to the lesson. I know some of you have other things to do today. In the first assignment that you have for me, I'm going to create a tab for you that's called underneath your name. I think I called it today's date, mardi, but the first assignment that you're going to have is actually to translate lyrics to a little educational song. It should not be hard. The first line is Je te le prête, which means I loan it to you. So there's your hint for the first line. Later on in this song, there's a line that says, Ne le lui donne pas, rends-le-moi. That verb rendre can mean render. It can also mean to return or give back. And I haven't taught you how to use a verb in the imperative or command form, as well as two object pronouns, direct and indirect. So rends-le-moi means give it back to me. But in French, the order is give back it to me. Okay, so there's your little helpful hint there. All right, and now for our lesson. So you may want to pause the video here. I'm going to tell you what you need to collect. You're going to need your textbook, you're going to need your index card box, and I believe 4 blank cards. 3 white ones and 1 blue one. So if you need to pause the video here and come back, you surely can. Okay, hopefully everyone is on the same page. One other thing I forgot to mention is, except for the nursing home girls, everyone else will need to follow the directions carefully in today's lesson plans and look over my culture page. It's underneath the collaboration space tab, but that is explained in full detail on the lesson plan page too, how to get there. All I need from you is for you to respond on that page and say what date you would choose for your culture project turn-in. Okay, we'll talk about that later individually. I don't want to say that too much here. All right, so for your first card today, you're going to make a verb card. We are going to make a verb card for the verb savoir. Now, we've made a verb card for connaître, which means to know, as in to be acquainted with, to know about, to have information about, to be familiar with. The verb today, savoir, is to know, as in to know more like factual things. And there are a lot of different usages for savoir, so we're going to also be making a usage card today. But I'm going to hold this up and I'm going to show you. So this is going to be your verb savoir. I can't see now. So on the English side, I want you to write to know. And then on the French lined side, you can pause the video here. you're going to write savoir at the top in all of your conjugations. I don't have a blue card made or a board with blue marker, but I do want you to pause the video here and make a blue card for the verb savoir. And you can ouvrez vos livres de texte, s'il vous plaît, à la page 244. On page 244, in the top green box, you will see the verb savoir conjugated, and in the bottom of that top green box, you will see where they wrote for you the irregular past participle of the verb savoir. So if you wanted to say, I knew the answer to that math question, j'ai su la réponse is how you could say that. Okay, let's see. Next on my lesson plan. Okay, the next card we need to make is probably going to be the one on which you will write the most. So take out another blank card, and on the blank side or the English side of your card, I want you to write what I have at the top here. When to use savoir. This is going to be a usage card, so you'll be putting this in your maybe grammar section of your index card box if you have a section like that. I'm pretty sure everybody does. We've talked about that before. Okay, so I'm going to hold the card up, and I guess maybe I could just slide up one at a time. The first thing I want you to write is, I can't read backwards. Savoir means to know, as in to be familiar. Hold on a minute. That is wrong. Une minute. Savoir means to know, as in to know information or to know how. Okay, hold on. To know as in to know information. You can see it right there in your book. I just took it out of the wrong box. I was copying it quickly as I was talking to Caleb over breakfast. Information to know how. All right, I'll show you my corrected board. Sorry about that. So this is the first thing I want y'all to write. Now it kind of looks bad. Savoir means to know, as in to know information, to know how. Hopefully when you first heard me say that, you thought, wait a minute, you just said to be acquainted with is for connaître, and you would have been right. Okay, so there are, let's see here, 4 bullet points that I want you to copy down, and you can pause this at any point, of course. These are different ways that you can use savoir, different ways that the French use them, okay? The first one is savoir que, and if you don't have your textbook open yet to page 244, you need to have it there because there are going to be examples, and I want y'all to look over those examples in your book, okay? If I want to say, I know that Meg is good at dancing, I might say, je sais que Marguerite est une bonne danseuse, a good dancer, okay? The next bullet point says savoir si. This means to know if. Miss Colley, do you know if we will be coming back to school on April 6th? Madame Colley, est-ce que vous savez si on revient à l'école le 6 avril? The next bullet point, savoir plus question mark. So the book says here, savoir plus an interrogatory expression. I didn't have room for this on my board. If y'all want to write that on your card the way it says it in the book, feel free to do that. For example, do you know where the coronavirus is the worst? I need to stop using those examples. Est-ce que tu sais où le coronavirus est le pire? Do you know where I left my teacup? Est-ce que tu sais où j'ai laissé mon verre de thé? Ma tasse de thé, excuse me. Do you know where my child is? Est-ce que tu sais où est mon enfant? But you can do it with any interrogatory expression. So like, and you can use it in a statement as well. I know when we are going to eat dinner tonight. Je sais quand on va manger ce soir. And the last bullet point is savoir plus an infinitive. This is how to say to know how. And you can pause this if you want to and finish copying. And I'm going to put the board down. Okay? Savoir plus infinitive, for example, you might say, I don't know how to study for chemistry. Je ne sais pas comment, je ne sais pas étudier pour la chimie. Or, again, back to Meg. Meg knows how to dance, I don't. Marguerite sait danser. Je ne sais pas danser. Now, you can sometimes put in comment as well, and they didn't really deal with that in the book, so I'm not going to deal with that today either. I don't want to make the lesson longer than it needs to be for now. But another example, perhaps Mara knows how to play soccer. Mora sait jouer au foot. Okay, so hopefully you can look at the book with more examples. Y'all know me, typically I would have you repeat after me. It's always good for pronunciation, and sometimes I feel like it's good for just helping your brain digest the information. Go back now and look at your Savoir card, and at least for this, I do want you to humor me, and I know I'm not seeing what you're doing right now, but I want you to repeat after me for the forms of savoir. So here we go. Repeat. Je sais. Tu sais. Il sait. On sait. Oups. Nous savons. Vous savez. Ils savent. Elles savent. Ah oui, mes amis. Très bien. Okay, let's see. What is next on my lesson plan? Okay, the next thing we need to do is you need to get out a third white card for me now. And we are now going to make a usage card for connaître. Okay, so I'm going to erase my board here. This one should be shorter, and you can see it in the book. So I saved it for last for myself because I wanted to have my Savoir board ready to go, since that was going to take the longest, had the most information. Okay, so on your usage card for connaître, at the top, on one side of your card, I only have one board, I can't do double-sided. Actually, you know what? Oh la la, I do have two sides. I'll have to do that next time. Okay, when to use connaître. That's what I want you to write on one side of your card. So again, this is a usage card. This is not a verb card. So this is going to be going in your grammar section. Okay, the book only gives you two examples here. Sorry, I have to lean over to the bed to look at the textbook. Okay, so the first thing I want you to write under connaître, and we may already have, I don't think we have a usage card for connaître. I think I've talked to you about what it means, but I don't think we made a card for that. Okay, so at the top, on the line side of your card, I want you to write connaître means, even if we've done this before, just do it again, okay? Means to know. And in parentheses, I'm going to write be acquainted or familiar. Be acquainted, familiar. Okay, and I think there should just be 2 bullet points. Yes, we've got connaître plus people and connaître plus places. So my board is a little sloppy. Feel free to make your card look a little bit better than that. Pause the video here if you need to. Okay, very good. The last thing I want to do before I sign off and let you proceed with your assignments is I want to just get you started on the textbook assignment for today. So I'm going to give you 2 assignments that are due for me on Thursday before our conference call. I am scheduling another conference call, and look to see what time I put on the lesson plan on OneNote. I've got one with y'all and one with AP. I want to say I'm going to make your conference call at 2. And I just want y'all to be prepared with a couple of things to share, maybe just 1 or 2 sentences about what you like, what you're doing, what you did yesterday, And then maybe if you want to ask a question to one of our class members, that'd be awesome. And then your your assignments will be to translate the lyrics to the song, so that'll be in the tab that you see appropriately there. Then I want you to create a second page and name this one page 244, exercise 11. I think this should be easy, but I just want to make sure I help get y'all started just in case. The instructions say expliquez ce que les personnes suivantes savent faire. See if you can think about what those instructions mean. Explain what the following, remember suivante always means following and it comes after the noun in French. Explain what the following people know how to do. And I added how because in French, if you have the verb savoir conjugated plus an infinitive, that implies to know how. So they're applying the lesson for you right there in the instructions. In the example, Stéphanie joue aux cartes. Stephanie plays cards. So she knows how to play cards. Elle sait jouer aux cartes. So you're going to take the subject pronoun, you're going to conjugate savoir according to the subject pronoun, and then you are simply going to take the verb that is conjugated in the sentence and make it infinitive. For example, on number 1, vous jouez au tennis. Okay, let's see here. That means y'all play tennis. So you can stop the video if you already know how to do the exercise. But if you want to see me work through number 1, it should only take 1 more minute. So, vous jouez au tennis. So on number 1, you would write vous. And so the sentence on number 1 says, you play tennis. And they want you to write, you know how to play tennis. And this is the formal you. Okay, so we're going to use the verb savoir. Vous savez. And you can use your savoir card or look at the book. Now you're going to take the verb to play and you're going to put it in its infinitive form because you don't want to say y'all play tennis. You want to say y'all know how to play tennis. Vous savez jouer au tennis. Okay, that's all for today. I hope that helped. Reach out if you have any questions. Au revoir.